Hello and welcome to your full moon reading for January 9th through 11th. Now this reading is specifically for the full moon. I know we have a lunar eclipse coming up with it and I will touch on that. So I'll call this the full moon lunar eclipse reading for 2020 January. I'm excited you're here. So as we step into this full moon period, there are many messages that are just coming through. I am a novice astrologer, so I'm always learning about it. And what this full moon coming in is, first we know that it's in Cancer. Now Cancer is, well, the first thing we know is that the January full moon is called the wolf moon. Typically, I mean, that name comes from the Native Americans, the wolf moon. And it's the moon that the wolves like to howl at. You know, wolves are pretty smart creatures and they don't howl at every moon, but they have their favorites. And so I like that they get their own in January. So if you're in a place and are so inclined to step outside and give a few howls, make some intentions, and howl it up to the moon, it always is a fun experience. So I encourage you to do that. But it's also in Cancer. Now the Cancer energy, this impacts all of us, but will be especially true for those who have Cancer or those water signs in their chart, Cancer in their chart. But we will all feel the effects of this full moon. The Cancer that comes in is all about the divine feminine, nurturing, healing, home, hearth. I keep seeing warm embraces being held by the Cancer. You know, Cancer, Capricorns are really great simpatico signs, parallel from each other. So it's like it's their twin almost, even though they behave both so differently. They respond to each other so well. So in this time of the Cancer lunar eclipse, things might seem a little bit dark. I'm also hearing that communications might backfire a little. So pay attention to your communication and notice if you are not finishing sentences or having a thought that you believe is so loud that others might hear it, or if you are in fact over talking and not making any sense or oversharing. This is a time when that kind of energy may be poking through. Also, because we are in the beginning of the new year astrologically in January 2020, this full moon coming through is the most powerful full moon to set our intentions and to allow them to come to us. Now, I keep hearing for most of the zodiac sign, this is going to be a year of working, setting foundation, laying down your path, and looking towards the next 6 months ahead. This full moon in Cancer during the lunar eclipse is going to be quite favorable to you moving forward into that direction of where you want to be. Now, the word I keep hearing over and over coming through from Spirit is legacy. And I will mention for myself, that is a term, legacy, that I've always associated with divine masculinity and an ego-driven life by creating a legacy. My personal beliefs have always been that legacy is the seed that you plant and it blooms and you may not receive, you know, it's not about you. It's about the tree being grown from that seed. Now that's my interpretation, but Spirit's really coming forward and saying legacy can mean so many different things, and used an example of Nikola Tesla as an example of legacy of a man who died poor, alone, in Manhattan in a rundown hotel on 52nd Street, or was it 48th Street? I don't know. It wasn't a nice area. It wasn't Bryant Park yet, I'll tell you that. And he really just died in a meager state, and his legacy didn't begin until years after his death. So by removing the ego, we have no idea how our words or our writing or our art or our whatever it is that we're contributing, our volunteering, our just being ourselves, we have no idea how that will contribute to a legacy. So Spirit says this is time. Time is now, now, now. I keep hearing and getting this answering the call card, like go forward now. Now is the time to strike. The old is gone. Step forward and move into your path of that work, that love, that desire that you truly are wanting for this time in your life. Now, I mentioned love, and I'm going to bring it up again. Love is in the air. Romantic love, deepening your connection with your partner, feeling more connected with yourself. But I want to mention the other love that is all around you. Now, oftentimes I've seen in women, I don't know about men, I'm sure men do this too, but women fall all in love and just give completely to that person and become completely absorbed with the other person. And what Spirit really wants me to let you know is really staying strongly that, yes, you know, that romantic love, that passionate love, that intimate love is important, but it's only one flavor of love that you need or want in your life. So if you are not feeling romantic, and that's possible, or if you're feeling romantic but you don't know where love's coming from, simply step into another direction and start opening yourself up to the love that's all around you in everyday activities. And when you notice the kinds of people you're attracting, you will be attracting more love and more light into your life. And who knows where those stories lead. So by allowing more people to come into your life and to love you even more, as much as you love yourself, allows for more romantic relationships to come in, because you are not, all I hear is desperate. Some people get desperate for that attention that the other person gives to them, and they can feel it, and then it pushes others away. It feels overwhelming. So remember to take responsibility for the amount of love you receive by giving it in the most beautiful, gentle, loving ways that you have with people you encounter every day. Now, Spirit's coming in again with saying, for the next few days, there may be some harsh words spoken. I don't typically get political information, but Spirit's like, you really got to mention it now. So there may be some things heating up in our political world here in the U.S. that may get a little worse before they get better. Just calm yourself, get your thunder blanket out, and just find your inner peace. Being at peace is the first thing that's going to help you to get through some tumultuous times if there are words being spoken. Now, I'm jumping into the cards here because Spirit did have a few other messages he, she, it, whatever Spirit is. Today, it's a he, wants me to share. And the first card is this 10 of Pentacles. Now, as we can see, we have a yogi in this position with other friends and colleagues or like spirits, or perhaps they're fairy people. He's near the water. He's in a restful position. He's got his arm around his familiar. I believe that's a dog. And he's sitting around this circle. Now, some of you might not appreciate the image of a pentacle, but this is just the circle. It could be the Star of David. It could be a cross in a circle. It could be any kind of circle that you want it to be. But this is where he's sitting. And the message here is to certainly celebrate with people who you connect with, or even visualize this circle if you are isolated because of snow or weather conditions. This can be a simple meditation about you celebrating, or you being outside, start a fire. This isn't a fire, but I have soul sisters who make fires every full moon and new moon. So this is certainly a time for a fire, placing intentions and celebrating how far you are. I'm being told to share a quick story about answering this call, because this call is coming in so loudly for so many of you. So Spirit's really saying that when you start moving in this direction again, many of you put off your personal vision for yourself, your personal like let's say you wanted to start your own business. I'm only saying that because it gives us the freedom to work at our own schedule. So who doesn't want to be their own boss, right? So, well, let's say it's that you're being called to move in this direction again. You had taken a part-time job and you were doing something else, and now you're devoting yourself fully into your new project, your true project, your project that's you. You're editing that book. You're prepping it to send it out to readers. You are doing this work. And here's the fun thing to remember, especially if you're procrastinating doing these things. You've already got a lot of the hard work done. It's simply about concentrating your focus, sitting down and moving to the next page. It's really that easy for you to step back into this project. And many of the things that you have been craving for, especially in your world, it's already done. So I got 3 of the Divine Action Cards decks. 3 of the Divine Action Cards I want to share with you. First, make a list. Always practical. I love how Spirit is always so practical with me. I can't help it. I just love that. Those are the messages I receive. So make a list. You know what you want to do, but seriously, it's time to step into the business plan, or to elaborate on that, or to write it down. I keep hearing that for this year, for 2020, writing things down will have more power to it than it ever has before. And these writings are not for other. These writings are for you to focus your energy, focus your attention, focus that dream that you want to create by making it clearer. Sometimes we have to edit things out, and no, that will come later. Start with the core. And then the second thing is notice the signs. Now, I will share a quick story with one of my clients who we had a really powerful reading this week. I channel most of the information. I don't really recall a lot of it. That's why I encourage you to take good notes while we're reading. And something happened, and a noise happened, and then she was compelled, thinking, oh, I should go see what that was, when she finally picked it up. It was the name for her business that she had forgotten about. It was presented to her with color, with all sorts of affirmations around it, in the sense of affirming in her body by understanding, physically tingling. Yes, oh my God, this is it. Oh, I'm so excited. I want to shout it from the rooftops. First, I'm going to go to GoDaddy or whatever and lock down those websites. By finally naming it, by finally calling it what it's supposed to be called, now that springboard is open and ready to go. And it was been blocked for years. So it is noticing the signs, the loud sounds that come in the middle of the night, and divine intervention. Spirit is here and ready to go and saying, hey, look, she's all lined up. She's ready. Let's jump into that. So you're ready. You've done so much of the work that you wanted to do before already. You're all set to go. And just clarifying your vision might come by circle. You can do a small fire circle, write your intentions, burn it, send it to do the penny if it's about money, the penny ceremony of cleansing the 9 pennies and depositing them in sacred water and allowing them to flourish. There are money bowl intentions you can do to create more money by taking a green bowl and blessing it and burning the sage and putting all the different coins and money in it from where you want the money to come from, blessing it, praying over it. Those spells, intentions, whatever, they work. So there are many to choose from. I'm hoping to just plant a few seeds. If you need to go work on your altar, redo your altar, this is a great time to do it. Build your altar for the new year, for the next 6 months. What do you want to attract in? What words are on your altar? What do you have on your altar? And give it some divine space. Create that space for it. Okay, Spirit's saying this is a long video, but there was a lot of information that needed to come out. So I really appreciate you checking it out and sticking with me for this long. For those of you who are my regular viewers, I appreciate you so much. I love you so much. I will have tomorrow's reading up in just a few minutes after this video. And If you're new to my channel, please take a moment to subscribe down below. I'm so grateful that you stopped by, and I hope you know how much I love you. And this is really an exciting year, so I hope you feel that energy too. All right, my dear, I love you, and I look forward to seeing you next time.